Good evening. This is Laura Haig. This is my video that goes along with my PowerPoint presentation for my history project for MRTS 1330. I chose the history of burial vaults, and I hope you enjoy my presentation. First of all, burial vaults through time. Prior to 1880, there were no burial vaults to speak of. There were no manufacturers who produced a burial vault. Families used bricks and wood and whatever they could to go into the grave to protect the casket from damage and to protect it from being damaged from above. In 1880, German immigrant Leo Haas created LG Haas Manufacturing Company to make concrete products, including the very first concrete burial vaults in the U.S. In 1913, Wilbert W. Haas, Leo's nephew, assumed leadership of the company and began an aggressive plan to grow the company's burial vault business. The rest is, as they say, history. Young Wilbert didn't have long to wait to see the fruits of his labor, as demand for his vaults reached an all-time high with the great influenza pandemic that was sweeping the world in 1918. That sounds a little too familiar with what's going on right now. Pretty stressful on all of us. Chicago was hit hard back then with almost 9,000 flu-related deaths over an 8-week period. Wilbert was the only one able to meet the demand for burial vaults during that pandemic. In 1919, Wilbert bought the business from his uncle Leo, and he changed the name to American Burial Vaults. The burial vault was revolutionized in 1930 when Wilbert invented the first asphalt line vault. Personalization of the burial vault followed. In 1936, Wilbert introduced decorative insignia for groups such as American Legion and Knights of Columbus. When I read this, it made me think of the corners that we put on caskets. We put similar corners. I had one for, we had an astronaut who had been a firefighter, who had been a police officer. So he had 3 different corners. By 1938, Wilbert had become the world's largest manufacturer of asphalt and concrete burial vaults. He had numerous licenses in the U.S. and Canada. In 1967, the Wilbert W. Haas Company was renamed Wilbert Inc. Over the next 50 years, Wilbert was responsible for industry innovations such as the plastic line vault and the copper line vault. In the late 1990s, the company was recognized as Wilbert Funeral Services, Inc. Today, Wilbert has the largest network of burial vault manufacturers in North America. Now we come to vaults for the famous. Over the years, many famous people have been entombed using Wilbert vaults. Just a few that were of interest to me were Louis Armstrong, Rosalind Russell, Frank Sinatra, John Wayne, President Lyndon B. Johnson, Elvis Presley, and Gilda Radner. There were more. Betsy Ross, Richard Daley, mayor of Chicago, was also entombed in a Wilbert vault. And there were many more. Now we come to notoriety and big sales. Interestingly, the 2 millionth Wilbert vault was produced in 1963. the year President Kennedy was entombed in a specially designed vault. In 2002, it was estimated that Wilbert Inc.'s sales had reached $200 million. That's pretty impressive. In comes Clark, the competition. Actually, Clark Grave Vault, also in business since the 1900s, along with Wilbert, are currently the two largest producers of burial vaults in the U.S. I have yet to see a Clark vault in any of my burials. They are all Wilbert. Maybe Clark handles another part of the country, but certainly in Texas, Wilbert reigns. Wilbert does champion their concrete vault, and Clark states that their metal vaults protect the casket longer. Clark's metal vaults are guaranteed for 50 to 100 years to protect the casket from water and other elements using an air seal principle. A Clark vault buried in 1912 was in superb condition when it was unearthed in 1947. Metal versus concrete. Clark asserts that it is metal, not concrete, that protects the casket the best, as concrete is porous and water will eventually leak in and damage the casket. Claims of superiority. Clark vaults claim to have the best warranty in the industry. They have done submersion tests for air and water leaks. They have a unique design that forms a natural air pressure seal. They're manufactured from premium non-porous metal. A full line of vaults to suit any burial or financial need is provided by Clark. Wilbert vaults boast the only asphalt line vaults, which were first manufactured in 1930. These asphalt line vaults give the casket extra protection from ground weight and subsoil elements. Wilbert offers 3 levels of protection with their vaults: premium, standard, and basic, all of which give the casket numerous years of guaranteed protection from the elements. You get to decide. In closing, whether you choose a concrete vault by Wilbert or a metal vault by Clark, both are leaders in the burial vault industry from hard work and vision early on. In the course of 140 years, both companies have made tremendous strides from what we used to have, which was a few bricks or pieces of wood inside a grave, to what we know now today as superior protection for a casket. That is all on my presentation on burial vaults. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for listening.